But you have some takeaways from the MrBeast oompaville video, and I'd like to hear some of them, and then maybe we could find out where we're gonna go, how we're gonna watch this whole video. Beckett,
God, fuck. This is such a weird one to see. I will say, like, it's really interesting to watch the lineup of kind of content that's come out since Soggy's video here, because you've got like Soggy's video, then you had the Cold Ones thing that came out.
What happened with Cold
Ronaldo
Ones?
interview. Well, I mean, MrBeast was on Cold Ones.
Ronaldo was on Cold Ones, and I missed it. What?
And then you had another video essay with or like fucking breakdown with a load of the employees, and then you've got this oompaville interview, which seems to have like supplanted the Pegasus one. So it's definitely an interesting sort of like rush of content. And it feels like Jimmy's been, I don't know, pulled in a direction. Like he's like, oh, now's the time to talk, and then somebody else has been kind of selective with who he's talked to and who people have talked to since then.
Well, I think it's
he
clear
went on Cold Ones because he had to drink his sorrows away after the dog pack video.
Well, I don't have problems. You know, Dog Pack's video, whatever he got right, is definitely salacious and it's definitely slanderous. So if he we all go into as a comedy when we go into our little commentary wars, we go into our bunker and come out with the best plan. Why can't he? I don't particularly have a problem with that. If you're taking money from him, you might be fucking your own credibility up. But I don't really have a problem. Well, he's doing damage control. Well, yeah, no shit. Anybody's going to do damage control in a situation like this, I would imagine. Am I wrong? I guess no, maybe so.
No, I think that's reasonable. I think choosing Oompa for the interview.
Oh, I know. Oh, come on. We always did that. I mean, look. I have a real good. I liked him, but I said before. I kind of got the feeling that he's good at reading people and telling people what they want to fucking hear. And I get that. It's not the best. It's not the best place to go if you want a hard hitting interview. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted a hard hitting interview. I think they wanted
a hard hitting interview. If you wanted a hard hitting interview, that was fair. You should go to me.
60 minutes with MrBeast.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be 60 minutes because I only got 60. Like everybody else has got talking for 3 fucking hours. I'm not sure.
This is 150 minutes.
I think ultimately it's because probably the worst received Dog Pack interview was the one with Oompa because it was so softball. So I think that's why they chose this one. It's like a counterpart to that. And I mean, Nick pointed out that Oompa kind of had like 24 hours to prepare. He was like told MrBeast is coming in the next day, and Nick's right in that that's not a lot of time for the biggest YouTuber on the planet to turn up at your fucking house and be like, "Hey, we're doing this." So it's kind of a bit.
Well,
limiting.
if you wanted to be hard hit, if you wanted to respect, like, no, we're not doing that. We're gonna have to schedule another day. But then you lose MrBeast.
Yeah,
but you also lose credibility because. I got to be fair. It's fair to Nick. I don't know if we'd afford that kind of excuse for somebody else. I mean, all right, so what? And
this is like getting a visit from the Godfather.
How long do you? See, I don't. I would. I really don't. I could talk to him for 45 minutes. And the only way it would go longer than that, 45 minutes to an hour, is if we got in a fight. That's the way I would do it. But yeah, there's some truth in that. You need a certain amount of time to prepare, but. If you let him, if he says, well, this is the only time I'm doing it, and that's what I was like, no, like you got to pull a Rogan and Kamala Harris if you want the respect. If you just want the interview, which I'm sure Oompa was, then that's fine, but you don't get the respect. Because you can say no. So I'm not going to subscribe to that. But Nick's right in one sense, like that's difficult. He's got to make a decision. This decision that he made, is that fair?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. There is one response I've seen, which is apparently from oompaville, on something completely separately. So something popped up on like YouTube, the YouTube drama subreddit, basically saying that In 2021, MrBeast and the startup Creative Juice invested $250,000 in 4 creators, which included oompaville. And oompaville responded to this and basically said, look, that's not accurate. I've never spoken to Jimmy. This contract was like fucking devastating for me. In fact, it's actually been hell to deal with. It nearly financially ruined me. But at the end, he said, my relationship with CJ had nothing to do with Jimothy Beast. I'm poor at interviewing and wanted to give him the same conversation potential as I did Dawson, who I'd consider a friend, which I thought was a really interesting sentence. I mean,
Jesus.
You know,
yeah, it just, I mean, here's the thing. I guess, like, I'm not all for applying journalistic standards for people who aren't journalists, but I am when you get to this level, and then you got to be like it was my whole issue with the Soggy video. It was journalistic failure, and I think at that level, you can't present something as proof that's not actually proof. You can't fucking selectively edit. You can't say somebody said something they didn't, or leave the context out, or omit stuff. And when you completely do that, that's why I think Soggy's video is an utter failure, because you like those are unchangeable facts. They're objective facts. All those things happened. And they're not. That's it. But at the end of the day, Soggy's not. He's just a YouTuber. He's not a journalist. But once you get in the ring, and he got in the ring, you're open to that type of criticism. And I think
so. Your problem is the stolen valor of it. Stolen valor for journalists.
No, not Mo. I hate journalists. No, God, me. I hate journalists. No,
they're braver than the U.S. Marines.
You talk to them, they'll tell you that too. But no, I think there is a level that once you get to that, you should be held up to some kind of standard. And when you selectively edit, you break that. And if for some reason that particular situation where the company got in and was involved with MrBeast, I think that's valid to bring up. I think all these things are valid to bring up.
This is the point about journalism generally. Like, people look at it now, but my defense of kind of why the internet is important is when we go back to like early journalism, it wasn't like big buildings and millions of dollars. It was it was a working class job of people just going and talking about this.
Yeah.
Well, but this is like the YouTube of like 10 years ago was almost a return to that. It was like the average person getting a voice again. And it's like, look, I'd never consider myself a journalist. I consider myself at best a pretty shitty shit poster. But I get the argument that you should be thorough. And if you're sat there, oompaville describing himself as a mid-sized channel at like a couple of million subs, but that is
not
a
true.
Pretty large platform to reach people.
It's a huge platform, man. Oh, I'm just your average YouTuber getting by. No, motherfucker, that's me. Fuck you. I'm working with a few grand a month. Go fuck yourself. You get the fuck out of here. Oompaville. Now, look, one of the things I liked oompaville. I got to interview him, and I was lucky to interview him. He's great on lolcow, and I enjoyed it. I don't know if the fans did. But I planned to fuck with him a little bit, but I really couldn't because, he just was honest with me. And that's, you tell me what I want to hear, and if you're just straight up honest and you're not aggressive, then I can't flip the switch and be Tommy C the jerk off, because then I'm going to make myself a jerk off. I can only do it if you go. I knew in the interview, because I was like, yeah, that's really interesting. I was like, oh my God, he's got me. Shit. And there was nothing I really could do with it without making myself just like what Keemstar wanted me to do to who was the first guy we interviewed when he did a video, the Down the Rabbit Hole guy?
June the King?
Yeah, June the King. He's like, oh, you should have told me he's a fucking asshole. Like, what, make myself the asshole? No! So, yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be a softball interview. Like, I know oompaville is very smart. He's very, when it comes to YouTube, he knows what lines to walk. So, yeah, in that case, he was the worst one. But I'm going to say my opinion for actually watching it. I'm going to see if there's anything reasonable or not. Because are you saying that oompaville did softball him to death, or are you saying it's somewhere in between, or are you saying that it was a fair interview?
There's like a couple of bits in it where like there's almost a snap where he'll go from like asking some question that's like really light, and then he'll be like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example, but I'll give like just a hyperbolic like example. It's like it'll be really soft, and then it will suddenly like, so these accusations that you like murdered 20 people, and it's like this really weird switch. And
well, that's the inexperience. If I had to guess, I'm terrible at interviewing people. It's like the worst thing I do. So I'll give him that. Where should we start? Should we go right to the beginning?
Yeah, we might as well
Let's just open it.
I mean, yeah, let's just. I think the intro is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Okay,
I think it's an interesting choice of intro.
Okay. Okay. Am I gonna laugh? Are
you gonna sue Dogpack?
Cut off. No answer. Until later.
Well, MrBeast is currently on a private jet on his way to where I live in Central Texas to have a conversation with me with the intention of addressing the controversy that he has been involved in over the last few months. And
I would say plural. It's not just one.
I think that
it's one and you got out of it already.
Important for me to document my intentions before embarking on this risky and difficult task. I'm not Scott.
Guys, this is the toughest thing I ever done.
I know. He's not like, guess what? Now he is a journalist. Oh, I'm so important. Okay, God.
Can I get some 07s in the comments for my service? He's got the music behind him too, and it's like cyberpunk. It's like, whoa, we're getting inside the MrBeast system,
all right,
and we're taking it down.
I'm still gonna make fun of him, but maybe he's doing the showgram part of it. All right, I'll give him that, but I'm still gonna goof on him.
Yes, investigative journalist. I'm a YouTuber with a medium-sized platform.
I didn't realize how much that was going to bother me when I actually heard it. I want to rip his mustache off and shove it down his throat. Oh my God, this is not starting off.
People have pushed back on me and they're like, well, compared to MrBeast, it's a medium-sized platform.
Compared to MrBeast? Come on, fuck off. Nobody's MrBeast. Get the what are you, nuts?
He has to be doing this on purpose.
I'm just a humble YouTube channel.
This whole thing is on purpose.
Who are you kidding?
He's mid. What does that make you, Tommy?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Bitch.
Sat there on like a golden throne, being like, "I'm really just like you, man with 10 subs and like 1 concurrent of average."
That's why I like oompaville. He's so humble.
Tommy's untouchable, and this guy's like Brahmin.
You want my advice as a YouTuber, be yourself, but unless you're an asshole, then be somebody else.
I am currently doing journalism, to be fair, but I am goofy, all right? Also, back in August, I platformed Dogpack, and out of fairness, I
think that's fair, by the way. I actually agree with that. They did it both ways. I think in that sense, I think MrBeast should do 1 or 2 more interviews, but he's obviously being
feel that it is important to do the same for MrBeast. MrBeast has agreed to keep an open line of communication. He'll only be here for
music is wacky in the background.
It's trying to hype you up. Like, this is it. Finally, MrBeast, is he going down? Or there's the monolith staying up?
All I hear, you're the only one to get this. All I hear is, it's Art Bell here from coast to coast. That's all I'm hearing is Art Bell.
A little bit, which is crazy.
Fucking aliens are going to be talking about ghosts.
Seriously.
Flying halfway across the country. And he and his team have agreed to provide us with evidence and information to give proof to claims so we can actually be as transparent here as possible. The goal of this video is not for it to please everyone or gotcha somebody. It is for this video to be a meaningful source of information. So to future me and
I think that was he knows what to say. I think that's the right thing to say. I do because first of all, I don't like gotcha interviews personally. I think they're usually bad faith. I think if you do a gotcha, and you got to do it like Rogan, you don't go in there with the intention of gotcha. But if somebody slips up, you follow up. But he's basically laying it out. I'm not here to do that, right? And I like the fact that with the intention information. And I'm absolutely sure he's not going to strike my shit down because that would really fly in his face. So maybe because I've done this before, I've interviewed people before, and people have used my interviews in our videos, and they saw stuff that I didn't even see when I was there at the time. So I think that's actually fair. So I'll give him a point there.
You currently viewing, I'm sure I missed some questions, but I absolutely did my best, and I stand behind the result, maybe. And I look forward to seeing the comments and criticism. Firstly, would you...
He's a good YouTuber. All right, that was pretty good. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So should I? All right, this is the first one is it's right into Delaware. Okay.
Yeah.
The Delaware is a big one. Go.
Be willing to
Just
put your
open
hand
up.
on this Bible and swear?
Oh my gosh,
be
you
honest.
actually have a Bible?
I have 2 Bibles.
Are you being serious?
I am being
Billionaire. He walks around in fucking goddamn Adidas flip flops. Unbelievable.
serious.
You know, I walk around in Adidas flip flops. Everybody calls me a loser.
I'm swear. We're both from the South. This will be an honest video.
Oh, your laptop's blocking it.
Oh, whoops. This will be an honest video. You're a man from North Carolina. I'm from Virginia.
The Bible Belt.
The Bible Belt.
Yep.
Exactly.
I know what this means.
This
I
means
thought that was the Midwest.
it's legit.
Yes. Okay.
There we go.
I was not expecting that. Okay.
We're both gonna burn in hell.
This is like, it is. I can go to jail.
The first biggest question for me.
But I cured blindness. But you swore in the Bible. I'm Saint Peter, and you're fucked.
And a lot of people that I've spoken to over the last couple months is like, why were you so silent? Especially off the bat, like you did respond to the Ava Tyson stuff immediately, but like, you know, right after that.
Well, the truth is, I did a really shitty job on the David Tyson stuff. So next time something go, I get my mouth shut. That'd be a great answer.
A bunch of other stuff came out, and Dawson's video, his first video, gained a bunch of traction. What was your reasoning for being so silent immediately?
No, it's a great question to kick it off on. You actually kind of laid out the timeline there. The Ava stuff came out, and I put out that tweet. We hired the investigators to go look into it. And part of that investigation is they recommended that I not talk about drama or really do anything online because it might
Because the first thing didn't work.
influence, witnesses or any people they might interview or ex-employees. So it's a little unfortunate because I told them, okay, I'll wait till the investigation is over. And I believe that was literally like a week before the dog pack video came out. And then, truthfully, just in transparency, I've never done one of these like big investigations before, and in my head, it was
felt weird to me, timeline-wise, because I'm not sure this is wholly accurate.
Okay.
Because the Ava Chris Tyson stuff happened. So the timeline is basically this. Okay. Commentary had been talking about this because of Tipster. It's all part of the Tipster legacy for ages.
Sounds like a video game. Tipster legacy. Go ahead.
And then Prism came out with his video, basically making the accusation that Ava Chris Tyson groomed Lava, and they had this Discord, which they definitely had the Discord. That's true.
Yeah.
And then Lava came out and denied it. The mods, particularly somebody named Cookie, who I've spoken to multiple times, had logged Ava Chris Tyson's Discord. They released it through Drama Alerts, and then all that happened. And then Dogpack's video dropped. Now, around this time, Ava Chris Tyson, I believe, left the company after Dogpack's video. And the reason I think this is the case, timeline-wise, because I don't have it in front of me, was Dogpack said that he would release the second video if Ava Chris Tyson wasn't held to account, but then release the video anyway after Chris Tyson was removed. Yeah. So, but the investigation itself,
I remember that.
I believe only kicked off after or around the same time Chris Tyson had left. So wouldn't that be after Dogpack's video? I feel like Jimmy's posing it as none of this was really having a huge impact, and we were investigating, and then Dogpack gets involved. But Dogpack had been involved really early on, and I don't know. It's
is it possible? I'm going to play devil's advocate because I don't know if you're making a bad argument. I don't know if you at all. Is it possible he forgot? Because I forget shit like that all the fucking time, and that's just the way he remembers it. So he's like if you took a lie detector right now, he'd pass it, right? Rather than it actually being a chance of deception. But what you're saying is the timeline that he's talking about isn't accurate.
It feels off to me, but it might feel off to me because this whole interview, Chris Tyson gets glossed over so much. They talk about Delaware, but talking about Chris Tyson doesn't really happen much in it. It happens a couple of times, and there's lots of little bits missing. And it's this is what I feel like the interviews are softball just because of the things that are missing, not because of the things that are said.
Well, here we go.
The last 2 or 3 weeks, it ended up taking a couple months, apparently combing through all the documents and doing all the interviews.
You know what's the funny thing is, because I don't watch MrBeast, my kid does, And I was telling him, he's like, you know what's going on? When I was in Spain, I was like, you know what's going on, Mr. Beast? Yeah, one of the guys that was on there, he's like a girl now, and he goes, Chris. She goes, Chris. And I looked at because I didn't know which one it was. Yeah, it's Chris. it was actually like, she goes, I knew that guy was up. No, she didn't say that, but
everything just took way longer than I thought because I've never had to bring in a top tier law firm and a former federal prosecutor and let him, do this really big thing. And
this could be bullshit, but it's also nitpicking.
So that kind of concluded a couple weeks ago when I put out the tweet of the follow-up. Like that was the day I got the conclusion of it. And I was like, okay, in transparency, I'll throw this out. So up until that point, it was, I had told Quinn Emanuel that, to protect the integrity, I wouldn't do anything or engage in any of this drama. And then
I think it's like 99.9% true. His lawyers told him to shut up. I cannot believe they wouldn't have, so I think that's probably fair.
After that, yeah, like you said, a lot of stuff had come out between when the investigation started and when it ended. And I was just kind of like, whoa, I don't really know how to hit this stuff. And
should call Tommy C.
I made a little response video, but that's just kind of not my style, where I just kind of put a lot of the information that I assume we're going to talk about here out. And it just felt weird. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I've never been in a situation where people have thrown this much stuff at me. And I definitely could have handled it better. I probably should have, the second I could have talked,
more information will provide Mr. G's doc linked in the description. Yeah.
I don't remember the exact date, 2 or 3 weeks ago when we put that report out. Probably should have done something like this right then. If I could go back in time, I would. And yeah, that's kind of like the brain dump. And then,
well, that makes me think he has changed his mind.
Here I am.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask. You answered it towards the end, but do you regret that? Obviously.
Yeah. If I could go back in time, I would do what we're doing here because I assume this is the correct format. It's gonna be a little bit more free flowing and natural, and I wouldn't have wasted so much time trying to do a response. It's just not my thing. I like so much better, or I'm assuming. I mean, we just started, but I think I'm gonna like so much better being asked the questions and answer it instead of just sitting in a chair like this answering.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna being able to speak freely instead of my lawyers feeding me what to say so that I don't get in trouble. I think I would like that too, Mr. Beast.
Well, when he says that, I've just got an image in my head that he's looking over to the sniper that's pointed at oompaville's head. I think I'm gonna like this better answer to oompaville.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got lawyers there. I'm absolutely sure he has lawyers in the building. So, whatever.
Or natural.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that definitely, that does line up obviously with what's happened, and it makes sense. And I definitely, I feel like, before talking to you, I definitely would imagine that you would regret have not.
I forgot this. I have to go. I have to get these. I forgot about my. Hello?
About your groceries.
Okay, ein Moment, ich komme. All right, keep it going.
Guys, ignore that. Mr. Beast has a team of CIA-trained assassins outside of the room right now. They're ready to extraordinarily render oompaville to a black site off of the coast of Cuba. And, I just want to say it was very brave of oompaville to do this, because now I realize journalists have to sacrifice a lot.
I think it's even funnier that he's sort of stuttering answering the question. No, that's great. Yeah, no.
There's a paper in his hand, starts shaking violently. Did he have any regrets? Please don't kill me! Please!